Right, well I've got a few jobs done on this machine while it's on the bike lift, including an oil change, and I've checked the valve clearances and got all that crap out the tank. I've also run the engine. When I lost the tick over when I was riding it the other day, it was because the little rubber O-rings on the tick over adjusting screws had sort of shrunk, dried out, whatever you like, and the screws actually turned very easily, and I think they probably unscrewed themselves while I was riding it. So I've sorted that out and set a tick over again. I'm going to hop up there now and hopefully start it, run it for a little while and demonstrate the tick over, hopefully. And then I've got one or two other things I'll switch off, and one or two other things to discuss, which may be of interest to some. Anyway, let's put the camera down there for now. Hopefully we can see the bike. And I'll just get up here. Yeah. The engine isn't cold, I'm not being a clever dick. I think the oil leak that I already discussed is coming from the back of the primary case. They've probably got one of those sliding seals because the gearbox moves to adjust the primary chain tension. It's probably some sort of sliding seal between the back of the clutch and the innermost chain case, and I think it's shoving a bit out there occasionally. Most bikes that leak from the back of the primary case do so when they're running but stationary, and that does seem to be what this one's doing. Right, now then, switch it off. I really don't like where the ignition switch is. That's a terrible idea. Anyway, now it's all quiet. Probably heard that. I gave it a couple of handy little blips there and it made a lovely snarl. Right, well, the exhausts have been mentioned in one or two comments already, and I can assure anybody that thinks anything on this bike may not be original is original. Everything, including the front mudguard. I've had that sort of affirmed that that was on it when it left Plumstead, and the seat is correct, so I'm told, and the exhausts are correct. They're Norton Ranger exhausts, and I had hoped, I mean, it makes a lovely sound, doesn't it? But I had hoped, and I even tried, but I thought I'd better sort of quit while I was ahead. I tried undoing some of the screws, and I did get some of them undone. But what we've got, in fact, I'll probably go back round the other side in a moment, but these silencers, they've got a lovely growl to them, haven't they? But believe it or not, they've got a detachable reverse cone. There's 3 in all, Allen screws dotted around at 120-degree intervals, and there's also an Allen screw on the top of the silencer about 2/3 of the way along, and another one underneath. Basically, you undo the 5 screws and the reverse cone comes out with the baffle, and then you've got an open mega, 2 of them. Now imagine them. I had, like I say, I had hoped to demonstrate what a beautiful sound it must make with those end cones and baffles removed, but there was one screw proved rather stubborn, and I didn't want to do damage or round it out or anything like that. It's not really my place to go interfering. If they'd come undone easily, I would have given it a brief run with no baffles, but you might possibly be able to see in there, I don't know. There's there. See, that disc is almost closing off the hole completely. There's just like a gap all the way around it, and you can probably make out where the two screws are, top and bottom. But imagine the sound it makes now. Just imagine what it would sound like with that lot removed. It'd probably make your ears bleed. I think you certainly would probably need to wear earplugs then. I'm not an earplug wearer. I'm not into all that. I like to hear an engine. But I should imagine that everyone else for about 5 miles around would probably hear this engine with those removed. Like I say, I had hoped to hear it myself and demonstrate it, but sadly it wasn't to be. But just imagine. And the story behind these is, apparently, according to the owner, was if you were going to ride this to an event and then compete in it, you'd ride it on the road to your event with the end cones, reverse cones and baffles in, then take them out to do your scrambles competition in the desert or whatever, and then when you'd won, then you just park up, refit the baffles and the reverse cones and trundle home again, possibly with your number 1 board on, who knows. So there's some of the interesting things, and don't forget that it's also got 9:1 compression ratio and Norris R camshaft. God knows what the horsepower is, but it sounds like there's some brutish horses in there for certain. As I've said before, lovely bike, wouldn't mind it in my collection.